Hello, friends. So, most of you must be wondering or maybe in trouble with only one question. I'm earning so much, but where is my money going? Why my portfolio is not increasing? Why my net worth is not going up? Why I'm not able to invest more? So today's video is going to be, little different. uh, we are not just going to talk about technical excel thing, but we are also looking at how we can better manage our finances. And this is important for everyone, even if you are bachelor or you have a family. It doesn't matter. This financial discipline is very important. So today I'm going to show you how you can create a simple excel file, using which you can track your income, your expenses, uh, your investments, and make smarter decisions and manage your money better, so that end of the month you don't land in a situation where your salary got credited, like let's say 30th of the previous month, last day of the previous month, and by the time you are on, let's say, 15th or 20th, your pockets are empty. This happens with lot of people. So to avoid this situation, let us look at this simple excel file that we can create. So as you can see, there are two tabs. One is summary and another is outflow. So you can simply create a table like this. You can replicate these, columns with these headings like year, month, and so on. So I will explain each and every column that we have. So first is in hand. How much salary you are getting every month in hand. This will be like beginning of the month. For example, now let's say you are entering the month of April. You will receive your salary by, let's say, 31st of March. So that amount should come here. Now let's assume uh, that you will get salary of roughly 1 lakh rupees. Okay, let me put it here like 1 lakh. I copy it to the March, and let's say, so your January salary will be, you will put here for February. Then your February salary you will write in the March, because you are going to get it towards the end of February. So that is what is going to be available with you for your expenses for the month of March. Then your March salary will be available for your April expenses, that is again 1 lakh. Now let's say you have got increment and this salary goes up to, let's say, 1 lakh 6,000 April onwards. So this will continue like this. So this is how you will fill up your first column, which is income. Then the second column will be if you are earning any other income. It could be anything, like if you have a property, then the rent, or if you are doing some side hustle, some freelancing kind of work, then others. So for one of my clients, this is the real data for one of my clients, and this is what salary he was earning, and he was earning rent of 18,500 every month, like till May. And from June onwards, his rent agreement had escalation clause, so this rent was going to go up to 19,250. I'm sorry, 19,250, and so on. So if this applies to you, you can fill this column, else you can leave it blank. Now comes EMI, the largest chunk of your salary expenses. So the EMI that the client was paying was some 49,200 rupees every month. So this continues as it is. Now, next column is monthly recurring expenses. So this column is linked to this outflow tab. You can see outflow E5, and then there is minus sign which indicates expenses. So let me go to the outflow tab. So in the outflow tab, you can see that there are monthly recurring expenses. It is very important to track where exactly you are spending every month. So let me just put down some of the expenses that a typical family spends. So I'm creating this budget for one person, assuming that he's spending it from his pocket for his family. but you can combine it for your entire family also. Like for example, in case of in hand, instead of salary of one person, you can club salary of husband as well as wife together and increase the number. Now let's go back to outflows. So let's say you are spending every month on groceries close to 12,000 rupees. Let me increase it a bit. Let's say 15,000 rupees on groceries. Then let's say there is some senior citizen at your home and you are supposed to spend a lot on medicines, so you will put that number here. If you are going to gym and you are spending on your supplements, creatine, protein, everything, then that amount will come here. So let's say I put it as 2500. Then the fuel that you are spend on the fuel every month that you are making, let me put that could be, let's say, 2500. The newspaper subscription that you have, I know this is a small amount, but it is very important to track even the small expenses, small but recurring. So let's put that as 350 every month. Then entertainment, now this could be anything like your Netflix, your Amazon Prime subscriptions and so on. So let's put it as 800. Then your internet recharge, like Wi-Fi that you have installed in your at your home, let's say 1000 rupees. Then telephone will include your uh, recharge. So internet and telephone is typically quarterly, like 3 months plans that we most of us take. Then some people will take 84 days plans. So you just divide that number by 3 and you will get the monthly spend. So for telephone, I am simply putting 300 rupees per month. Then if you are owning an iPhone and if you have subscribed to the 50 GB space, just an example, then let's say that's 75 rupees. Then miscellaneous expenses could be your, then let's say hoteling, you are spending, let's say, 2000 every month. These are just examples and not you have to put how much you are spending. I'm just putting some random numbers as an example. These numbers are close to what my client was spending and to whom I helped uh, bring in financial discipline. So hoteling. Then if you are single and let's say you are spending some money on dating app subscriptions, Bumble, Tinder and so on, then please put that also here. Just making sure that everything, yeah, that you are spending on is in place, is tracked, so that you make wise decisions before going for any monthly expenses, especially the subscription kind of things like dating apps and Apple space. What we typically tend to do is uh, subscribe on auto pay mode and link it to our Google Pay, and then we just forget it how much we are spending. So those type of things should come here. Then some people play games, subscribe to it, that can also come here, that you can put under entertainment. But my point is everything should be you know tracked here. And then last could be something like shopping. You can take out some 2000 rupees every month for shopping. That will be your buffer that you will put aside every month for shopping. And then miscellaneous, any unknown small expenses that come. So I am again putting 2000 rupees. Now at top of the table, here I have this sum formula. So sum, open parenthesis, select the range, close the parenthesis, and yes, this is how we arrive at sum formula. You can see the formula here also. And if you want to understand more on sum formula, you can go to the video which I have created on how to apply sum formula. So this is how it is. So and now, as you have tracked your monthly recurring expenses, we come to the second section, which is others. So before that, your monthly recurring expenses is linked to this outflow E5. So this is that column. Now we have got extra expenses, or I can call it as other expenses. Now I have put a sum ifs formula. uh, I will not spend too much time on explaining this formula because I have already covered how to apply sum ifs in some other video. You can see the card at top of this video. You can see how to apply sum ifs. But in Crux, what I am doing is, from this outflow tab, I am doing sum of column K, which is basically this column. Then I am applying criteria as like outflow HH column, which is basically uh, year. So this is my sum range. Then criteria is basically cell A9, which is the year. Then I again go to outflow tab for criteria range 2, which is II, which is basically the month here. And then you can see that B9 is basically month. So if you want to learn this formula, you can click on the I button above and learn the formula. But the point is, if you go back to the outflow tab, here what you should track is major quarterly expenses, annual expenses, not monthly, quarterly, annual, 6 monthly, or any major expenses that you know that you will have to spend, and those are one time. So let's say your LIC insurance premium, which is due once in a year. Let's say this is due on February. So you will put that amount here, 10,000 rupees, let's say 14,000 rupees. That was the real number for my client. Then let's say your society maintenance, though it is due on a monthly basis, people tend to pay it once in 6 months or so, or maybe even once in a year. So I am putting it as, let's say, 10,000 rupees. Then your gym membership fee, generally people tend to pass resolutions in January, so I'm putting this in January. So let's say 15,000 rupees. Then your property insurance, let's say it is due in October, so assuming you have a property. Then your property tax, let's say 5,000 rupees, and so on. So this is how you will track these expenses. And in the summary, as you can see, all the expenses are auto pulled. Now this investment column, I have kept it blank for now. We will see it afterwards. Now what you have is investable surplus. Now this is the amount which is left with you after doing all the mandatory non-avoidable expenses. So as you can see, the average is like 26,000 in February, then 30,000 for March, and then we are quite over and above 40,000 rupees. So what you can simply do is, so now you know that how much you can invest every month, and you can put that amount in the investment. Let's say 25,000 I put it as. It should be negative number because you are spending. Then let's say 28,000 again in February. That leaves you with an additional bank balance of these numbers, 1275, 2275, and so on. Then let's say you put 37,000 in April. Then May could be, let's say, 42,500. Continued till September. Then again 28,000 in the month of October. Then again 42,500 in November and December. Then January, maybe you can invest 29,000 rupees. And again 42,500 in February and March. And you will be left with this much additional funds in your bank. Now the next section is your investments. So I highly recommend that you should not invest in lot of mutual funds and lot of asset classes. So maybe let's say you are investing 20% of your investable funds that you see here into gold. So the formula will be H9, that is investment, multiplied by J7, that is basically how much you are allocating. You can change it at your discretion. It could be like 0.1 uh, 0.35 and 0.35 and then zero point 0.2. So the point is the total should be 1, like this. Then let's say you are investing one in one Nifty 50 mutual fund, then you are having, let's say, Nifty next 50, and then 20% of your wealth here. Let's say you are putting in some high risk, high reward kind of uh, investment vehicles. It could be like uh, small cap mutual fund, or maybe you are directly investing into market. But this is how it. But uh, you should, plan it properly. So this was the simple Excel sheet which everyone must track, everyone must prepare, so that they can manage their investments very well and track their expenses. So some bonus tips from my side: the monthly recurring expenses that you are making, never do it from your salary account. I always recommend that have two bank accounts. One should be your salary or income account, wherein you should accept all your salary or the rent or anything else that you are earning. Transfer a fixed amount every month to another account which should be linked to your Google Pay, and that is the account from which you should, make your all the spend, your debit card, whenever you swipe the card when you go to hotel. So that will help you, control your expenses and have discipline. So that was the tip from my side. So if you have liked this video, please hit the like button, please press the bell icon, share this video with more and more people so that they can also, manage their investments and money well. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.